Hello everyone, my name is Lexi Hacker. I'm going to talk to you all about diffuse intrinsic protein glycose Research Fund and why more attention needs to be brought to it. More attention can be brought to the DIPG Research Fund by myself and other college students. Together we can bring more attention to the fund by reaching out to the families who are experiencing DIPG, lending them a helping hand and reaching out to the media and informing them what to do to help the research continue to grow and to reach other people so we can find the cure. I gained interest in the DIPG Research Fund at the beginning of this year when I started to spend more and more time with someone who experienced the loss of her son. Rebecca Bradley lost her son Kyler, who was diagnosed with DIPG on October 15th of 2015. He passed away on April 12th of 2016, just 6 months after he was diagnosed. DIPG is a death sentence. You give out 9 months and you could be a lot shorter. It's like any other mother, she stayed positive and did whatever she could because she wanted to make her son proud, like she always promised him. She is one of the strongest ladies I personally know. I was able to talk to her one-on-one with everything going on. This was a very devastating time. One of the most important things I have noticed from watching her after the loss was her ability for her and her husband to start the Kyler Strong Foundation in memory of her son Kyler Bradley. This foundation is a sponsor for the DIPG Research Fund to help find the cure for diffuse intrinsic protein glycose and raise money to continue to find the cure. The foundation alone has raised $60,000 for research in which it has been donated to Cincinnati Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. Rebecca's goal is to reach $100,000 by the end of December of 2017 or hopefully by the beginning of January of 2018. She would like to let new people know about DIPG and try to spread her story in the next project she has planned with individuals. As I further my education in the pre-medical field in which I plan to get more involved with diffuse intrinsic protein glycose research here at the University of Kentucky. While my future studies include doing research and of course being a helping hand or even finding the cure for something that I am passionate about like DIPG. Throughout my research, I found great details in how other organizations have been created. One in particular that I found interesting was Flag High Foundation. This organization gave me a great detail on the medical team that is involved with diffuse intrinsic protein glycose research, along with the clinical trials being tested as of right now, and in the near future, along with what has been performed in the past. I was very intrigued by how many individuals were involved with the research and how big the research has grown over time. Spreading from state to state and country to country, every heart is being impacted one way or another. Taking a step back from the personal aspect and focusing in on the research and statistics of diffuse intrinsic protein glycose is a research book that I found, and it is called Advances in Cancer Research, Chapter 6. It explains the MRIs, the CT scans, along with the biopsies that are performed on the patients of DIPG. Through this chapter, it expressed a great amount about the differences between a normal brain and a brain with a diffuse intrinsic protein glycose tumor. For individuals that don't know exactly what the tumor looks like or where it even is located, definitely this is the best book for them to give them the knowledge that they need to know about the tumor and how dangerous the tumor is. Showing the location, which is where your brainstem is and where the pons is located, is a very unordinary place, which is why this is such an inoperable and incurable tumor just being placed right there on the brainstem. I found a journal article that weighed in on the story of a young kid that passed away from diffuse intrinsic protein glycose. Through the story, it gave details from the family's experiences, along with sharing DIPG with the individuals that have yet to understand the experience of what the families go through during that time. If I was given 4 to 6 weeks longer to work on my project, I believe I could expand more on diffuse intrinsic protein glycose research. I would try to look on the different funds young adults that have tried to start on their own just by, if they lost their friend, they can have this fund that they said, I helped my friend. Taking a look into the foundations that have been started and see who is all given their 100% donating the funds compared to the ones that are keeping some. Because maybe, as like Rebecca would say, if that 50 cents was being kept, what if that 50 cents is what could help find the cure for DIPG? Looking into this project as a student that I would be in my shoes, I would give them advice on being able to find something that they are passionate about, something they can see themselves being able to talk about for a long time. Look at the aspects of what they can benefit from throughout the time. I would tell the individuals to ask themselves questions like, if I came to a standstill, not knowing what direction to go, whether it's north, south, east, west, whatever it could be, where could I lean to find my way back on track? Say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe they could help me. I also noticed that throughout the process, I felt I was always doing something wrong, but I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to explain it. So With that being said, here's the conclusion of my project, and I hope you guys liked it. Thanks.
To me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady.
The reason why is because children are still dying. That there's not a cure. It's inoperable. It's a death sentence. But there's still a lot of kids out there dying. You know, with Kyler, he lasted 6 months from the time he was diagnosed. We, as of to date, we've given $60,000. We started the foundation about a month after he died last year. He died in April of last year, so we started it in May. I'd like to give $40,000 more as of December or January of this year. So that will put us at $100,000 that we gave as everything. My big next goal that I've been working on since the beginning of this year, since January 10th actually, I've testified before the State House already, and I just testified before the House of Representatives, is for our license plate. The state of Ohio does not have a DIPG license plate, so we actually got one together. I got the vector form and everything done, so I just have to meet with Governor Kasich to have it all, proved and all of that, and hopefully we'll get it out the end of this year, beginning of next year is my hope. So hopefully we'll go with that, and then Kyler can fly around on everybody's license plate, and a portion of it will actually come back for this Kyler Strong Foundation, so the proceeds come back to us as well. So we will keep that going, and we have to sell so many a year to keep it going. So we'll have them on all of our vehicles and all of that. So we're going to go with that, and I'm sure next year I'll come up with something bigger than that to go with, because my brain just keeps turning to try and find different ways to bring awareness. If there was a way that he could help, that maybe that was his purpose. Maybe that's why he was here. Maybe that's why God put him here. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the real reasons are, but it is still alive, and only 20-some% of these tumors stay alive and they thrive. Sad thing is that Kyler's tumor is still alive. It doesn't need a host, which is the scary part. It's got its own blood supply and everything, and it didn't need him. But it is still thriving, and they are using it in research today. So it's been alive for the last year and a half. So maybe his could be used to find the cause, the cure, and the prevention of DIPG.
Can you tell me how many times, I guess you should say, that they are doing this? Like, does it count on how much they put in the money?
I know it's all over, and they're being shipped, these petri dishes, all over the place. I'm sure that's got a tag on it that comes back to Kyler. And I know every time that they inject a drug into it, I think it's $700 to put one drug into it, and then they see, does it stop it? Does it prevent it from multiplying? Does it slow it down? If it doesn't do anything like that. But they did check this past August when I gave our last contribution to research, and they assured me that it was still thriving and that it was still growing, and it is one of the few that are. I do think a big headway will come, because now when you talk about it, people are like, oh, I know what that is. Yeah. I think my gut tells me in the next 10 years, I think headway will come through. I think tumors are being more worked on. I think more people are starting to donate the tumors to research. And I do know they're starting to actually, they take these tubes and they inject them into the back of the head, and it goes directly into the tumor. So the drugs are being administered straight in the tumor. Radiation and chemo are the only treatment, and they haven't changed since Neil Armstrong's since his daughter has died. Yeah. 55 years, the treatment is still the same, and that's the same treatment Kyler got. Nothing's changed in 55 years. It's sad. It's sad that treatments have changed for everything else, but because DIPG is a death sentence, they don't want to do anything because they say it's rare. The only funding DIPG gets is because of us parents who have lost our kids. Less than 1% comes to that research. Brain cancer gets 4%, but DIPG, because it's a death sentence, only gets less than 1%. And it's because of us parents who our kids have died. This is where that 1% comes from. So I think it's coming a long way, because I think it's not as rare as it seems, and we're bringing more awareness. So I think people We just need to start, doing more, start talking about it more, bringing more awareness to it, and I think a lot more will come of it.
Oh, why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through, 'cause I've seen the dark side too.